Hi, I'm Claudio from Coheed And Cambria, and you're watching our hard drive Ask Anything Chat. Thanks to Lou Brutus for having me on the show tonight to talk about the new album, Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind. All right, so let's get into these questions. Question 1. Devon from Livonia asks, if you were to run into a real-life equivalent of the Willing Well, would you go through it? Yes, I would. The Willing Well allows you to go anywhere in time and space. For myself, I'd like to go into the past. I'd like to see some relatives I've lost, maybe see myself as a little boy, find out what kind of kid I was. Yeah, I would do it. The second half of the question is if any of your characters from your comics ever manifested in real life as actual beings and you met them, what would be your first reaction? I'd run because something's wrong. Something is absolutely wrong, and I'm not entirely sure. I think we'd all be screwed. Next question. Jen from St. Louis. Do you guys ever go back and listen to the old stuff and just feel amazed at how far you've come since then? Yes. Well, at the moment, I'm listening to the set that we are going to perform on the tour that we're about to embark on. And, I'm coming across some of the older material, album versions that I haven't heard in a long time, and I am amazed. I think, we've grown as creators, as musicians. I tend to think when I listen to these songs, first thing that comes to mind is re-recording them. But there is something beautiful and charming about the way they are, and how they catalog that moment in time and who we were then. So, but yeah, I am amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. And I feel everyone else would, I think, feels the same way. Devin from Pooler. How did you and Chandra come up with the design idea for Nostrand and Nia? Well, I'm not entirely sure, where we came up with the aesthetic of the characters, but I do remember how I came up with the names of Creature, Sister Spider, and Colossus, the trio of unheavenly creatures, and they're all homages to old horror movies. Creature, obviously, of the Creature of the Black Lagoon, the Colossus from the Colossus of New York, which is sort of a play on Frankenstein, and Sister Spider is an homage to Tarantula. So I don't know if that answers your question, Devin. Anna from Wilkes-Barre. What is your favorite song off A Window of the Waking Mind and why? It changes every day. I feel like that answer would be the same for all of us, in the band. So yeah, at the moment, I'm having an interesting time performing A Window of the Waking Mind. That is certainly one of my favorites, just because it's a song it's one where I got to explore maybe a different side of my creativity in my attempts to write pieces for, say, musicals. So that one's certainly a favorite for sure at the moment. Melinda from Burbank. How would you try to survive 12 hours against Jason Voorhees? For those of you not familiar, Jason Voorhees is the slasher that dons the hockey mask. Kills camp counselors and yada, yada, yada. This is probably more of a question geared for Josh, our drummer, who is a huge fan of Mr. Voorhees. But if I had to answer this question, I think the thing that I would do to survive 12 hours, I would look for noisemakers. I would run around. I would try to find as many things that can make noise. If there's a car running, turn on the volume. If there was a house with a stereo, turn on the volume. Turn everything. Just keep turning everything up. And hopefully that confuses him. That's it. Alyssa from Radford. Do your families have to wait until the album drops, or do they get to hear it as soon as it's complete? Oh, they hear it. They hear it from the day of inception. They hear the songwriting. My son will come into this is where the room I write a lot of the songs in. My son will be in here. That's probably a good reason why he's on the opening track of the record. But yes, they hear it from the day it's born to the day it's finished, and the record's been done now a year, and they've been listening to it. So they are, all depending on who you are, they're lucky. Amanda from Las Vegas. If Steve Harvey invited you on The Family Feud, what other rock band would you want to go up against? Well, I would say maybe Kiss, just because it looks like it could be fun, or maybe Slipknot. But yeah, those would probably either one of those bands would be my choices. Kim from Seattle, Washington. Best concert t-shirt you owned growing up. For me, it might be the first concert t-shirt I ever bought, and it wasn't an official concert t-shirt. It was a bootleg outside the Beacon Theater. It was on the Black Sabbath Dehumanizer tour. It was like a tie-dyed shirt with the album cover on the front of it. And just because that was my first concert experience, so that would be my favorite. I don't still own it. Well, I think that's it for the questions. I hope you had a good time with me, and I did the best answering your Thanks again to Lou Brutus for having me on Hard Drive tonight. The new album is called Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind. Hope, to see all of you out there on the road really soon. Be well. Claudio, out.